everyone. If we could, I'm sorry, if we could take roll call.
Yes, ma'am. I'll read our virtual statement and then I will take care of roll call. Good morning. Due to the pandemic, all members of the Downtown Winston-Salem Business Improvement District Advisory Committee are participating virtually. For virtual meetings, committee members will be muted until asked to be heard. At that time, they will be recognized and will be unmuted. When there is a vote, it will be necessary to take a roll call vote. A committee member will be recognized and will raise their hand and verbally state their vote. Today's meeting is a public meeting. Per the notice posted, citizens can listen to the meeting if they contacted city staff to make the necessary arrangements. The meeting can be accessed also by the City of Winston-Salem's YouTube page. And I will now run through the attendance. Tony Brett. Tony Brett.
I'm present.
Kelly Brown.
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Good morning.
It may be my internet. Yeah. Mike Cashin. I think he just joined and is connecting to audio, it looks like. Chad Cheek. Rodney Davis. Lauren Desai.
Here.
Vivian Joyner.
Present.
Shannon Meyer.
Present.
And Charles Wilson. Okay, back to you, Chair.
All right, thank you. Good morning again, everyone. If I can get a motion on the minutes from our last meeting, which was July 27th.
I'll make a motion.
Thank you. A second?
Second.
All right. All right, thank you. The next thing would be city report from Meredith.
Yes, ma'am. So a couple of council actions that have taken place since our July meeting. First, in September, the mayor and city council approved a budget amendment that provided $60,000 to the bid to make up for the decline in the tax base that occurred through the budget process. So our budget is essentially whole in comparison to last year's budget. So that was, I wanted to note that to you all. And then also to the mayor and city council in October. And council was very appreciative of the work that you all are doing and on that matter. And then my final update is on Marshall Park. It's very brief, but city staff has been working to finalize the funding and the plan for the park. And we hope in the next couple months to have a true update on the park and when construction will begin and that sort of stuff. So those are the city kind of project updates. If you have anything you would like me to look into, I'm happy to do so.
Any questions for Meredith? Thank you, Meredith. Jason, updates on district improvements?
Yes, thank you, everyone. I hope all of you are doing well. Can you guys hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, super. I wanted to say that we have a lot of construction going on downtown right now. If you haven't noticed that we have 3 apartment complexes under construction in the overall downtown area, a new county courthouse, the Callidium, hopefully Marshall Park soon, and quite a bit of other smaller projects. But one of the things that I think for me is that we're slowly transitioning to see downtown be a residential community, and that has an impact on our business improvement district. And so we have a lot more people that are living downtown. One of the things that we saw is we took over the pet stations, and we installed pet stations, and we put little stickers with QR codes on each of the pet stations. So if people see that it needs servicing, they can scan the QR code, and it takes them directly to our website where they can put in a request for us to service it. And that's kind of the first foray into using QR codes with our maintenance of equipment. And we'll see how that goes, but our guys do such a good job of keeping these loaded up with bags and their trash cans empty. There are some that are not within the bid. We do not maintain the ones that are not within the bid, obviously. So you may see some that don't look good, but they're not going to be our responsibility. We're getting ready for, I'm going to share my screen. If you go to our website, downtownws.com, if you're able, or if you have that, this Thursday, and I'll share my screen once it comes up. Kicks off our annual Shop the Block program. And hopefully you'll be able to see the screen that's up now. Can you guys see the Shop the Block program? Or let's see here. There it is. So I'm going to click on it. And one of the things I'm proud of is our team has worked very hard to come up with a long running list of participants. And so we have quite a few that are involved this year, I think over 40. And that's a really good list. And it is November 4th through the 7th. So that's coming up early next week. And I wanted to share with everybody that that's been going very well. And on the heels of that will be all of our marketing for the holidays. We've updated our website to include a new graphic, a whole new interface on the website for the Eat, Shop, and Be Merry holiday campaign. We will be having a holiday parade this year, and the downtown partnership, the bid will be entering a float. It will just be our vehicle driving through, the bid downtown truck driving through the area and waving to people. And I think it's good to be a part of that. The other thing that we're doing is putting up the Christmas tree in Marshall Park. It'll be on the sidewalk in front of the park. We'll be doing our Tuba Christmas event. And there's a lot more going on that time of year that'll all be listed on our website. One of the other things that we recently completed is I'm going to share with you our annual report that I just submitted to the City Council on last Monday. And I wanted to share with you that it has all of your names here in the bid map, but then here's the meat of the report. It should be downloadable from our downtown website, if not soon. But if you look at some of the images before and after, it seems to be pretty similar to what we saw last year with numbers, but I think increases. We had really good social media activity on the top right of this link. We had particularly an Instagram. We had almost 4,000 new followers last year, which I think is phenomenal. We're well over 23,000 now, which puts us in the lead amongst all of our peers regionally. And I think I'm proud of that. So we have a major impact in that forum. I also want to share with you, there's a lot of the ongoing activity, watering of plants. We have had some challenges with equipment. The city's helped us out with their water truck, and I appreciate that. Now is where you probably hear a lot of sweeping up of leaves. And one of the things that's been a little bit frustrating to me, and I wanted you guys to know that on your behalf, we've been doing a survey. I've been doing it piecemeal, and I think this is something I'm going to be giving to Meredith, and we have another people that have shared concerns. So we went around and took pictures, and I'm finalizing the report. But let me show you something that I think is something that's a challenge for us. And to me, it's something that is a recurring problem. But when the city issues permits to cut into the sidewalk, I don't think they have a very good process for coming back to the person and saying, hey, did you put it back the way that you found it? So you can see this was a water line that was cut. And when they got their water line improved, this was obviously the water line to go to the building across the street. Here's another one where AT&T put in a new box, and they didn't do anything around it. This is where a new mast arm was introduced along with AT&T, and the rest of the area, this is probably one of the least egregious, but here's what it looks like further out. A tree trunk that wasn't replaced. Here's where a sidewalk has fallen in, and the restaurant has just put a flower box. But in essence, this is Liberty Street where the curb has been destroyed. Another fire hydrant where the they put in a fire hydrant, but they didn't replace the sidewalk. These are some pictures that are unrelated, but I do have some more pictures to show you, but they'll all be of that kind of thing. So that's really some of the things that we're working on. I want to say thank you to the city for helping us with some funds that were lost during the pandemic, and we're very grateful for that. So I'm looking forward to how we spend that funding. And other than that, I'll just see if we have any questions.
Thank you, Jason. Is there, what's the typical process to get back with one of those vendors to repair their destruction of the sidewalk or curbing?
Yeah, I don't know, Vivian. I think
to find out more information on that as well. I made a note to actually get with city staff, send an email today, and hopefully line something up so we can work on that. I'm curious how many of those have been actually reported to the city.
Meredith,
So would it be good for us to report them as we see them to the city? And if so, who would be the appropriate contact, Meredith? Because I've noticed a couple of things like what Jason's showed with the brick pavers, and they have put a flower plant over top of it. I've noticed some areas where there's not anything there that are really trip hazards and a liability for the city. So can you send out something on instructions for reporting those areas?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Definitely.
And thank you for digging into that. I think it's something that is much needed.
Any other questions, concerns, or comments for either Jason or Meredith? Is there any new business anyone would like to bring forth?
Vivian, I do have a question. I'm sorry, I was talking on mute. So, Jason, if that work is not something that the city can fix or those contractors won't, are we having that conversation preemptively in case that's an item that the bid will need to talk about funding?
I don't know. I think the first step I'd like to do is I don't think the city realizes how many of these have happened. And I think that it'll probably take them some time to figure it out. But most of these are recent, and they were done when the mast arms were replaced by Duke Energy. And I'd like to think that there's still time for them to apply pressure on the contractor who made the mast arm improvements all throughout town. They're particularly problematic where they cut up brick to install. So what I'd like to do is to finish the PowerPoint presentation with all the examples, because I surveyed them all recently, and we'll have them in a PowerPoint, and I'll send them to Meredith, and then she can share them with the city. And I hope that they're going to say, well, they're supposed to come back and fix them up, but it would be nice if all of you guys really applied some pressure and said, guys, what's going on? This looks terrible. But I think there's a combination of the mast arms, but when the Utility Commission allows somebody to install a new water line, I don't think they have any follow-up to say, well, let's make that sidewalk cut look good after it's been done. I really don't, because it's obvious that they don't. Anytime they allow a new water cut, people just cover it with gravel and leave it there.
Mm-hmm. Thanks for the clarification.
But I think it's going to come up where we'll see what happens. But I wanted to get an inventory of all of them, and then we could submit them to the city. But I don't know. I've submitted a lot of these to CityLink over time, piecemeal, but this is the first time I just took an inventory of all of them, and I'm going to submit them. But I think there's a system.
I'll reach out directly to the department and kind of skip over CityLink to make sure we address kind of the process of how these take place and how the follow-up occurs.
Thank you, Jason. Meredith, thank you for your ability to follow up with this for us. Meredith, what's the date of our next meeting?
I believe it's bumped up. I don't have it right in front of me. Let me see if I can pull that up.
Typically, I know we don't have a December meeting if not necessary. I'm not sure about November.
Right now, it is scheduled for the 23rd, November 23rd, which would be the Tuesday prior to Thanksgiving.
All right. So if we can pencil that to our calendars, I know that if there's nothing pressing, we'll move it back. And then just in case there is nothing pressing and we do move it back, I hope each and every one of you have a great holiday season. And at this point, if there's nothing new or urgent pressing, I'd ask for a motion to adjourn.
I'll make the motion.
Thank you.
I'll second.
It is moved and second. It is adjourned. Y'all have a great day, great week.
Thank you.
Thank you.